Now let's create our navigation bar. So what we're going to do, we're going to create the navigation bar and we're going to leave the scroll SPY until the end once we have created all the sections of our website. Okay, so to create the navigation bar, we're going to use the nav tags. Okay, so inside the nav tags, we're going to have a container or div of class container. Or container fluid if you want to go for the full width of the page. Okay, and then inside this container, we are going to have a couple of elements. So we're going to have the header, which represents the brand and the toggle button. And then we're going to have the collapsible content, which refers to the collapsible elements inside our navigation bar. Okay, so we're going to have a couple of divs. So the first one is going to be the header, and then the second one is going to be the collapsible content. Okay, so the nav tag, we're going to give it a role of navigation. Also, we're going to give it a few classes. So also we're going to give it a few classes. Okay, so navbar. Okay, and to style it, we're going to go for navbar default. And to make sure that the navigation bar is fixed at the top, we should add navbar fixed top. Okay, and we're going to give it an ID, my nav bar. So we'll use the ID later for the scroll SPY. Okay, now let's move to the container. Okay, and let's go to the header. So the header is going to have a class navbar header. Okay, and the collapsible content is going to have a class navbar collapse and collapse. So we're going to give it an ID to link it to the toggle button. So let's call it navbar collapse. Okay, now let's go back to our header and create our nav brand and our toggle button. So let's start with the nav brand. So it's going to be a link. Okay, and we're going to give it a class nav bar brand. Okay, and let's place some text inside the link. Complete web development course. Okay, and then we need to create the toggle button. Okay, so we're going to use the button tag. So we can give it a type button, and we need to give it a class of navbar toggle. Okay, and we're going to use some data attributes here. So we're going to use a data target, which goes to the collapsible content. So we need the number sign followed by the ID of the collapsible content. That's the target of our button. And also we need a data toggle that we're gonna set to collapse. Okay. All right, let's have a look at our navigation bar. Okay, so now let's create these bars inside the toggle button. So we're going to create a few span elements. Okay, so each span is going to have a class of icon bar. Okay, so let's duplicate this, and now we have 3 icon bars. And usually we add another span at the beginning. For assistive technologies. So we're gonna place some text inside toggle navigation, and to make it hidden we're gonna give it a class SR only. Okay. All right, so now if we refresh the page, you can just okay, so we still don't have any collapsible content inside our navigation bar, so let's just add the collapsible contents, and then we can test if the button is working. So inside the collapsible contents we're going to create a list, okay, that we're going to push to the right hand side. So we're going to create an unordered list. So I'm going to give it a class navbar nav. Okay, and I'm going to try pull right. Okay, we're going to have an issue with this class. Okay, so we're going to do this on purpose just to show you how it works, and then we're going to replace it with another class that's going to work better for us. Okay, so we're going to have 3 list items. Okay, inside each list item we're going to have a link. So when we load the page, the first list item is going to be active. Okay, so we're going to give it a class active, and these links, they are going to take us to the different sections of our website. So we're going to have 3 sections: home, about, and promise. So we can place the hrefs from now. So the first elements, or the first section, is going to have an ID home. The second one is not active, the list item, and it's going to take us to the about section, and the last one is going to take us to the promise section. Okay, so let's save and refresh the page. Okay, we still don't see our lists. So we need to add some text to our links. So the first one is going to be home, and then about, and that's inside the link, and finally our promise. Okay, so now we can see our links there. Okay, so if we refresh the page, if we reduce the width of the page, you can see our toggle button. If we click on it, we can see our links there. Okay, so the problem with using pull right is that when we click on the toggle button and we show the links in small devices, these links, they are pushed to the right, and we don't want that. Okay, so in big devices it is working fine, because we can see that the list is pushed to the right, okay, but it's not fine here because that's not good. So to fix this, we're going to change the class pull right to navbar right, okay, and now it works fine. Okay. Alright, now let's style our navigation bar. So to do this, we're going to be using CSS, and to save time, we can use a navigation bar CSS generator. So if you go to Google and type navigation bar CSS generator Bootstrap, you get many results there. And if you go to this website, w3masters.nl, then you can see a really nice tool there. So all you need to do is fill these parameters. So the color corresponds to the background color of our navigation bar. The link color is the color of the links, and also you got the active link color. So for the background color, we're going to go for a nice dark blue color. We want the links to be gray color, and when they are active, we want them to become white. So let's do this. So for the color, I'm going to go for a dark blue color. So if you click on enter, the navigation bar is going to get updated. The link color, we want it to be gray. And the active link color, we want it to be white. So if you click on enter, or click on generate your navbar, then you can see our navbar there. Okay. So let's copy the CSS code by clicking on the copy button. And let's go to our CSS file. So I'm going to paste the code right at the end, because it's quite a big piece of code. And let's just take the comment for the navigation bar and place it on top of this code. Okay, so in the code we are referring to the navigation bar styling using the class navbar custom. So we'll need to go back to the index.html file and change the default or navbar default style to navbar custom. Okay. And now if you go to our website, we can see our navigation bar there. Okay. So we've got our links, gray color for the links and white for the active links. So we're going to make a few changes there. Okay. So we're going to make the nav brand white, and also you're going to increase the font size. Okay. And if you look at this one, it will change the color when you hover on it, or the nav brand, and in our final website it just keeps white. So we're going to do that as well in the code. Okay, so let's go to our CSS file, and first of all let's increase the font size to 18 pixels. Okay, and also let's change the color of the nav brand. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to change that to a white color, and also the hover state to white color as well. All right. So now our navigation bar looks fine. Okay. Now we're going to change the font family. Okay, and we're going to do that for the whole web page. So we're going to go to the body element, and we are going to set the font family there. So let's select the body. So we're going to use a Google font called Volcon. Okay, and then as a fallback, we're going to go for sans serif. It's okay to write the family or the font family like this without quotes, but it's okay to add quotes if you want. Okay. Now this is a Google font, so to use it, we'll need to go to the Google Fonts website. And if you do Control F, you can look for Volcorn. Okay, if you scroll down, you get more results there. Okay, if you search again. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, here it is. So if you click on the button Quick Use, then if you scroll down, you will see this link that we're going to copy paste into our website. So if you go to the index.html file, like we did in the company websites project, we're going to paste this link in there. So we were using Arvo for the previous websites, and now we're using Volcorn. Okay, so let's save, and now we can see that we've got the right font family for our website. Okay.